Welcome to the Stronger American Daily Health and Fitness Brief, where we go over the latest health and fitness research, tackle one injectable peptide a day and the supplements that work synergistically or have similar impacts, and cover one muscle each day, expanding your knowledge and know-how. Here's what you need to know today. Let's start with what the research is telling us right now. A new 24-month cohort study found that higher semaglutide dosage accelerated skeletal muscle loss in older adults with type 2 diabetes, while a separate May 2026 report confirmed major cardiometabolic benefits for adults over 65 on GLP-1 therapy. The takeaway is that these drugs work for weight and heart health, but resistance training is essential alongside them to protect lean mass. A second study found that eating the same meals on repeat leads to greater weight loss over 12 weeks, because consistency removes decision fatigue and helps people naturally regulate portions without effort. Now, today's peptide research update. MOTSc is a peptide produced inside the mitochondria of your cells, and it acts like a metabolic hormone that regulates how your body uses energy, burns fat, and handles blood sugar. A new 2026 study in Scientific Reports found that women with PCOS had significantly lower MOTSc levels in both their blood and their skeletal muscle, and that deficit was directly tied to measurable mitochondrial dysfunction. The finding means that MOTSc is not just something that spikes during exercise. Its resting levels in muscle reflect how healthy your mitochondria actually are. For people with metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, or poor workout recovery, low MOTSc could be part of the picture, and aerobic training plus resistance work are the best natural tools to push those levels back up. And here are the supplements that support the same pathway, no prescription required. CoQ10 at 100 to 200 milligrams per day directly supports the mitochondrial machinery that produces MOTSc, and it matters most for people over 40 where CoQ10 naturally declines. PQQ at 10 to 20 milligrams per day works upstream, stimulating the growth of new mitochondria through the PGC1 alpha pathway, which means more cellular infrastructure for MOTSc production. For people dealing with insulin resistance or metabolic dysfunction, berberine at 500 milligrams twice a day mimics the downstream effects of MOTSc on glucose uptake and fat oxidation, and can serve as a useful bridge while exercise tolerance builds. Now for today's loading parameter, a training method backed by research that most people never use correctly. Paused reps means stopping the weight completely at the bottom of a lift for 1 to 3 seconds before pushing it back up. This eliminates the elastic energy your tendons naturally store and release during a normal rep, forcing your muscles to generate all the force from a dead start. The bottom position is also the weakest mechanical angle in most lifts, so training there builds strength specifically at the sticking point that limits your max. Use about 80 to 90% of your normal working weight, count the pause out loud, and keep sets in the 3 to 6 rep range. This works best in hypertrophy and technique refinement phases, not during a peaking block where you want full elastic contribution. And finally, today's muscle of the day, Serratus posterior inferior. The serratus posterior inferior is a flat muscle running from the lower thoracic and upper lumbar vertebrae diagonally up to the lower 4 ribs. Its job is to draw those ribs down and back during exhalation and to resist rib flare when you brace hard under a heavy load. When it is weak, you see lower ribs splaying outward during squats and deadlifts, and lumbar compensation picks up the slack. The best way to train it is with a Pallof press, where you exhale forcefully at the hardest point, or dead stop deadlifts, where a braced Valsalva each rep demands it to hold position. Tightness shows up as restricted thoracic rotation to the same side and a tight feeling in the lower ribs when you breathe deeply or twist. Share and subscribe for more daily health and fitness briefs. Visit StrongerAmerican.com for more and sign up for our weekly newsletter, Train Hard, Live Strong.